Before Carl Jung saw it, the ancient Greeks saw it. So did the other traditions around the world. And by the end of this video, you'll probably know which road you're already walking too. Look at the two roads on your screen right now. Both look like a life. Both have direction, purpose, effort. But one of them is a road that Jung calls psychological death, and most people never realize they're on it. Few choose the other one, the one that leads somewhere worth going. Maybe you've spent your whole life trying to figure out which path is yours. Maybe you've come across these names in your own searching: Carl Jung, Nietzsche, Plato. You've gone deep into Jungian psychology, depth psychology, personal growth, and underneath all of it, one question that won't stop. How do you know if you're on the road that actually leads to a great future? Carl Jung psychology has a name for that feeling and a method for answering it. And that method is what we're going to map. In video 1, we named the bridge Jung's Transcendent Function itself. It is both a process and a method that lead to a synthesis, a new you, the link between your conscious and your highest state of the unconscious. Then we traced your 4 North Stars in the process, the K card, the Ouroboros surrounding the jigsaw puzzle, the puzzle representing your collective unconscious, and the Ouroboros representing the cycle of eternal growth and the necessity of shedding your material skin for a spiritual body. The process is the crossing of the bridge between the known, the buried, and the undiscovered. In that video, we answered the what. Today, we answer the how. This is the method card. The symbol on it is the Ankh, Egypt's oldest sign for life. Not one life, 3. The life you're living right now, present, physical, in this body on this road. The life that continues, eternal, beyond this one. The part of you death doesn't touch. And the renewed life, the life you wake up into when you finally choose the other road. Jung's method is active in all 3, and it exists for a reason. Life is offering you a choice most people never even see. Behind the Ankh is the black and white sign for your personal conscious, and beside it, the yellow bar represents your soulless person. This is your daily life away from the crowd. Because that bar is made from both spirit and physical energies, it moves between your conscious and your unconscious. And the tool for seeing it is what comes next. One of these roads is so common that most people mistake it for success. But here's when it matters most, when life forces the choice on you. Maybe you're in pain, physical illness or injury, or emotional, the loss of someone, the loss of an opportunity. Or maybe it's the kind of pain that's hardest for you to name. The way that always worked doesn't work anymore. Nihilism, an existential crisis that won't lift. And you think, if only I could see what lies ahead on each path. But what if that's the wrong road? What does the right one actually look like for you? You already know this poem, but pause with it for a moment, a little more deeply. Here's how Robert Frost put it. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. You may have wondered how the road less traveled looks in your real life. Socrates was already tracking this 2,500 years ago, and what he found is the same crossroads you're standing at now. In the opening of the Republic, Socrates is visiting his friend Cephalus, a man who had reached the end of a very long life. Socrates said he regarded such aged men as travelers who had gone a journey he too might go, and he wanted to know, was the way smooth and easy or rugged and difficult? Not was it successful, not Were you comfortable? Both Frost and Socrates were describing the same crossroads, and you're standing at it right now. Here's what keeps surfacing in Jung's debt psychology, the road that leads to what the Greeks called the good life, and the easy, wide road that leads nowhere. Jung named the second road the road of the dead. Here's how he put it. We may think there is a safe road, but that would be the road of death. Then nothing happens any longer. At any rate, not the right things. Anyone who takes the safe road is as good as dead. You felt this deadness of a life where nothing truly changes. You're repeating the same patterns, going through the motions, but nothing is actually moving inside you. That's what Jung means. Most people travel the road of the dead at some point. Some stay on it their entire lives without ever knowing. Maybe you're on it right now and can't quite name why everything feels slightly off, like you're performing a life instead of living one. Epictetus named it with surgical clarity. Here's how he put it. You're a little soul carrying around a corpse. That's not philosophy as comfort. That's philosophy as X-ray, showing you what your life looks like when you're on the wrong path. John, the author of Revelation, saw the same pattern, and he didn't soften it. He said, you have a reputation for being alive, but you're dead. Wake up. Two voices, centuries apart, seeing the same condition you might be recognizing in yourself right now. A life that's technically happening, but it's not real. The symbols on card 5 show you what this road looked like. The red bar means your soul is operating as virtual in the state of collective conscious. Here, your power and your value are reduced to material things, physical strength, technical skill, good looks, the things that can be taken away. The checkerboard, it represents a lifespan inside appearances, playing games. It's not a real life, and you can feel the difference when you're honest with yourself. You've seen these states of consciousness before in our companion videos, the map that shows you exactly which soul mode you're experiencing life and in which reality. Knowing these things guide you in your expectations. And then there's Ammit, the Devourer, part lion, part hippopotamus, part crocodile. She terrified ancient Egyptians for a reason, and she should terrify you too, because she represents what happens when you stay on the wrong road. In their judgment ceremony, your heart was weighed against the feather of truth. If it was too heavy, it was tossed to Ammit. Once your heart was consumed, your soul was destroyed. This was a second death. No immortality, just restless forever. That was their map of the wrong road, the road you might be on right now without knowing it. And this is where Jung and Nietzsche become surprisingly similar. You've seen these types before. People who trade their own creativity, personal growth, and self-love for comfort, safety, and obedience to what everyone else is doing. They chase what isn't real, possessions over presence, approval over truth. Nietzsche called them the herd. You've already met two of them, the last man and the victim slave in our Narcissus Trap video. There, we looked at how the drama triangle imprisons your soul in social relationships. Both are versions of your limited ability to choose and to act. The tan label on the victim card represents your avatar, your body, and the sheep symbol marks your restricted movements like a slave. You don't go where your own life calls you. You go where the herd goes, and if they walk off the edge, you walk with them. The last man with the green label is your enslaved will. You may believe you're choosing your future as long as it stays comfortable and asks nothing risky of you, rather like a zombie. But you're as much a slave as the sheep. Both feel like alive, neither is one. Nietzsche warned about herd morality, how it breeds self-doubt, self-loathing, and worse, the violence of the herd against anyone who starts to wake up and walk away. But someone always does. This is your other road. Card 6 maps the good life. The blue bar on the right is the sign for your spiritual soul, the third piece of a picture that you've been building. The red virtual soul survives in the social world of games, and the yellow soulless person thrives in your interior world, and your blue spirit soul lifts you up to your highest self. The golden road winds upward, back to who you are. Dorothy followed hers to find herself and return home. This one leads the same direction, and the butterfly marks it for what it is. Your transformation, individuation, your way through, not around. But the Greeks didn't just point to this road, they mapped what it's built on. The ancient Greeks didn't call this road happiness. They called it Eudaimonia, meaning flourishing, prosperity, and blessedness. It goes beyond simple pleasures. You've already seen the road of the good life. The Greeks didn't just name it, they built it. And they said that road rests on 4 hinges. They called them the cardinal virtues, from the Latin cardo, meaning hinge. The virtues aren't the destination. They're what keep you on the road. Everything else in your life swings on these 4. Justice is not a courtroom verdict. It's what Plato called the harmonious alignment of your inner self. Your soul is spirit. Your soul is person. Your soul is virtual, interlocked like 3 rings. No 2 are directly tied, but pull one out of balance and the whole structure falls apart. Prudence is the wisdom to see your life clearly without self-deception. The Greeks gave her a bronze mirror, not for vanity, but because you can't navigate what you can't face. A serpent coils around the handle, the wisdom you earn by shedding your old skin. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move through it, again and again, carrying the torch forward with every instinct screams at you to drop it. Temperance is self-mastery over your desires so they don't master you. This goes deeper than willpower. Picture it, the Caduceus, 2 serpents coiled around a single staff. And the serpents? Your soul is spirit, pulls toward transcendence. Your soul is virtual, pulls toward the material world. Neither is evil. Either can go too far. And the staff? That's your soulless person, the one that must stand between them, leaning neither way, holding the tension itself. Here's how Ion of Chios put it. Know yourself, not as a slogan, as the prerequisite. You can't hold the middle if you don't know where you stand. These 4 are one structure. Pull anyone out, and the rest can't hold. You can't be prudent without the courage to act on what you see. You can't be just without the temperance to not take more than your share. They hold each other up, or they fall together. And the Greeks didn't leave you with abstraction. They mapped each virtue to a part of you. When your intellect seeks beauty, that's justice in motion. When your emotions seek bliss, that's prudence in motion. When your will seeks truth, that's courage in motion. When your body seeks goodness, action, doing, the telos that turns your acorn into an oak, that's temperance in motion. 4 virtues, 4 North Stars, 1 soul, fully connected. But who actually lives this way? There is an answer to that question, but it's not a list of people. It's a type, a small group who have crossed a line the herd doesn't even see. Look at the right edge of the card, that blue bar. That's your signal that you've entered different territory. The mode of the soul is spirit. You're no longer operating from the surface, not from the mask, not from the role, not from what the herd expects of you. You're inside the spirit world now. That's the unconscious layer where the deepest part of you takes over. The part that arrived in this life with something specific to become. And the eagle, it tells you who lives here. This is the higher man, what Nietzsche called the Übermensch. Not a superhuman, not someone ranked above the others, but someone who has flown to the unconscious above the noise of the conscious. You find meaning in solitude instead of running from it. You carry a long-term purpose, a unifying life project that reaches beyond your comfort zone, beyond what anyone else told you your life should look like. And most of all, you create. The first, and the more common of the two, is someone you may already recognize, not from a history book, but from your own life. You've worked alongside this person. You may be looking at them right now in the mirror. They don't seek the spotlight. They don't chase recognition. They're too busy building something that lasts. This is Hephaestus, god of artisans, smiths, fire, and craft. Not the most celebrated figure in the Greek world, and rarely the one getting the laurels, but consistently the one whose work lives on. As the creative non-genius, you don't steal the fire, you work with it. And the second form is even more rare, maybe only as a whisper, a feeling deep inside you that there's something no one else has touched, of something you can bring out into the open that changes the room, changes the decade, changes the world. This is Prometheus, the one who took fire from the gods and gifted it to humanity. He reached into a celestial place and came back with something that changed lives everywhere. As creative genius, you're passionately consumed by an idea you cannot shake. A rare individual who produces extraordinary work, life-altering treasures that didn't exist before, like a before and after. Your life, if you're this person, doesn't feel scattered. It feels integrated. Your suffering isn't wasted. It has direction. Your purpose isn't a plan. It's a pull that won't let go. Now look across all three cards. The blue bar runs through every one of them. Higher man, creative non-genius, creative genius. Soul is spirit mode, every one of them. All three are walking the same road of the good life, through the spirit world, fully alive to what they're here to become. The eagle is their shared symbol, because whether you tend the fire like Hephaestus or introduce the fire like Prometheus, you are the higher man. Both paths lead the same direction. Which of these four are you becoming? The victim, last man, creative non-genius, or the creative genius? You've now seen the whole map, the roads, the virtues, the people who walk them, and the Ankh and the method card have been here since the beginning. The question it's been holding for you is the one you came here to answer. Which road are you on right now? You've seen the method, the Queen card, the antithesis, your conscious practice, the Ankh, the tool for seeing where you stand and choosing the right road. But the method doesn't work alone. The process, the King card, the thesis, lives in your unconscious, your four North Stars of beauty, bliss, courage, and good. And when those two meet, if you're willing, synthesis is born, the Jack card, something that has never existed in you before. That's what's next. You've been watching symbols move across the screen, but here's the thing. These cards and wheels aren't just visuals, they're maps. Every suit, every symbol, every road has a place on them. When you hold the cards alongside these videos, you're not just following along, you're locating yourself, where you are, where you've been, what road you're actually on. The Psyche Archetype card deck and the Transcend group wheel turn abstract concepts into something you can touch, arrange, return to, and connect with each one. They make the maps of Jung and the ancients your map. They're free, no catch. Print them, hold them, and bring them into every video in the Transcendent Function series. If this helped you see your road choices, the full Transcendent Function series from Life's Deepest Questions is linked below, plus every video we've referenced. Like the video if it gave you something to think about. Subscribe if you want to be here when synthesis arrives. And in the comments, be honest, which road feels more familiar right now? The road of the dead or the road of the good life? So ask yourself, do you want suffering that leads to meaning and purpose, or comfortable but meaningless suffering? Stop, look, and then walk.